Good morning, everybody. It's Falcons Daily. I am CG, your host, Craig Green, and appreciate y'all checking us out today. If you want to give me a follow on social media, I am at Craig G Sports, CRAIG, the letter G in the word sports. You can follow FanArch. They're at FanArchCo, FANARCHCO. Their logo is up there in the top left corner up here. And please give them a follow on social media to keep up with everything they have going on. Early apologies if I sound a little congested. It's because I am. Went outside to play with Harper, played some cornhole, got back inside the house. Throat was scratchy, and then it turned into a cold. So if I sound like I'm pinching my nose, my bad. Have patience. And how patient should Arthur Blank be with the combination of the head coach, Raheem Morris, the general manager, Terry Fontenot, and the offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson? Seems like Zach Robinson is the target of a lot of the vitriol from Falcon family, right or wrong. That just happens to be what it is. When we don't score enough points to win a ball game, whether we lose by 1 or lose by 6, we always have to look at the offense sometimes and see what we could do better. But always, you got to look at the entirety of the team and see what's going on there. So how patient will he be? How patient should he be? Two totally different things. When it comes to how patient he should be, my opinion on that is that you need to, we're not going to have an instant winner right away. I mean, it does happen from time to time. Lightning can strike, and it does happen every once in a while, but it's not really plausible. I mean, because again, the Super Bowl trophy can't be split 32 ways. It's only one team's going to win it every single year. One team's going to be happy, 31 other teams are going to be disappointed. For the Falcons, we just have to get into the playoffs before we can even think about a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And right now, based on how the wild card is shaping up, looks like the only path for us is the NFC South title once again, because we've had this long 4-game losing streak, pretty much taken ourselves out of the wild card discussion at this time. But how patient should he be? I think Arthur Blank shouldn't even have the thought of firing Raheem Morris in his mind right now. It is his second full season as the head coach. I understand there's lofty expectations. We need to make the playoffs. But again, if you fire this man and then you you have to bring in pretty much an entirely new staff. You are starting over again, and then you have to restart the clock of expectations. If the only person of the three I could see being on the hot seat right now would be Terry Fontenot, because he is ultimately the guy who's bringing in the players for the coaches to coach. And it just depends on how much weight Arthur Blank puts in the drafts that Terry Fontenot has put together, the moves he's put together, and how things have played out, situations, this, that, and the third. When it comes to Zach Robinson, don't know how much of a leash he's got, but he is working with a young quarterback who's basically in his first full year as a starter. We're not trying to make excuses for Michael Penix, but that is the facts. He is a first-year starter. He came in last year in mop-up duty in the final 3 games, and he looked good, but at the same time, you could see that he was not very consistent. And we're seeing that now. His consistency is just not there. He had, in my opinion, probably the worst game he's had as a pro against the Colts. That was that one, and Carolina were pretty awful. But this one against the Colts, under 50% completions. Some of it was on him, some of it wasn't. But you got to give your team a chance to win that ball game. And it felt like Penix didn't make good enough throws in some of the games. He didn't make good enough decisions. Trying too hard to fit the ball down the field. If your first and second progressions aren't there, my man, just run. Just run. Get 3-4 yards and call it a day. But for Terry Fontenot, I think he should have the shortest leash of all. He's been there for 5 years already. Zach Robinson, Raheem Morris should be showing a little bit more grace. I know Falcon fans don't want to hear that, but that's how I feel. And really, again, if you want the team to be a winner, firing, head coach and offensive coordinator just because you're pissed off that we lost 4 straight games in the middle of the season is not the way to get there. We can't just quit on the season right now with 8 games left. I mean, we literally have 8 games left on the schedule, and if the Falcons turn around and win all 8 games, guess what? We're 11-6, and probably in the playoffs. And a good, really good comment when it came to some of this from Flavius Hobbs. He commented yesterday, I agree that it takes time for the new staff to click with the rookie QB or with a veteran QB. Too many people just want to have a microwave team where they go from worst to first instant. I see another year or two before this personnel will be good. Getting an offensive coordinator like Daboll might be helpful to this team. Now, another thing that, because Brian Daboll was fired as the Giants head coach, that could also put Zach Robinson on the hot seat as well if he does not find a way to get the most out of the offense, win or lose. Because even when you win, even when you lose, they're going to review the film and see what could have been done better. Sometimes there's not much that the scheme or the coach can do when the players are on the field. Again, remember, when the helmet shuts off at 15 seconds. So everything after that is all up to the players to execute. So, it's not like Zach Robinson's in there, hey, make sure you hold the ball too long and throw an interception or take a sack here, But I do think that some things need to be simplified for Penix and to help this offense out. But, when it comes to the offense, speaking of which, there were some workouts that went down. A couple of the players that worked out, 2 of them you would probably know. KJ Hamlin, a former wide receiver, worked out for the Falcons, and so did Jalen Reagor. A lot of folks may know Jalen Reagor playing for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's bounced around the league a little bit after his stint with the Eagles. But Hamler, drafted by the Denver Broncos in 2020. Again, Jalen Reagor has been around the league for a while. He was with the Eagles for the first 2 years of his career. Then he went to the Vikings. So we will see what happens with him. He's got 4 career touchdowns. And again, I've really felt like we need some help at wide receiver. This could come, it could come from one of these 2 guys, but which one would you rather have? Reagor or KJ Hamler? It's hard to tell right now. I think, honestly, KJ Hamler is a player who, was also in the Minnesota. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not Minnesota. He was with Denver. 5'9", 178 pounds. So sounds like more like a slot receiver that we'd be looking at here. Jalen Reagor is a little bit bigger in stature. He's 5'11", 197 pounds. So a bigger guy to either play on the outside or play the slot. Hard to tell who I'd rather have, honestly. But I would say just for the size of it, honestly, just from the size aspect, let's go Jalen Reagor. Just a little bit bigger, could be a little bit more a versatile piece. Again, someone you could put inside, outside. Drake London likes to play inside on the slot. So you could put Reagor on the outside, have Mooney and Reagor on the outside alongside with Drake in the slot if you want to do something like that. So we also did work out a quarterback as well. We worked out Tanner Mordecai to possibly be maybe our emergency 3rd quarterback. But outside of that, we worked him out and then worked out another wide receiver, Julian Hicks, who's never played in an NFL game. So give me Jalen Reagor if we could have anybody right now of the 2. Nothing wrong with KJ Hamler, but really just going on that just because of the size of Jalen, and I felt like he could do more than one thing for the offense. All right, let's wish a happy birthday to Falcons legend Steve Bartkowski. Steve Bartkowski was our franchise quarterback, was pretty much our first franchise quarterback, if you want to look at it that way. We drafted him in the 1975 NFL draft. He was the first overall pick in the 1975 NFL draft. Today, he turns 73 years old. And he played 11 of his 12 seasons with the Falcons. And with the Falcons here, he amassed over 23,000 yards, 154 touchdown passes, and 141 interceptions as a Falcon. He had a really nice career. He started, some of his best seasons. Really, his best season as a pro was 1981, where he made the Pro Bowl. He threw for over 3,800 yards. He had 30 touchdowns, but threw 23 interceptions. Good gravy. But that was his best season as a pro. He completed 55.7% of his passes that year. The highest he threw in one season was 31 touchdowns in 1980. That was the year that the Falcons went to the divisional playoff. He was a Pro Bowler, All-Pro, and finished third in NFL MVP voting. And then also has been an advocate for the Falcons since his retirement in 1986. He played one season for the Los Angeles Rams, but his record overall, you got to remember, this is not the same era of Falcon football as Matt Ryan, who played as a Falcon. His overall record was 55 wins, 66 losses, no ties. And his average season was 8 wins and 9 losses on a 17-game average. But, the best season the Falcons had with Bartkowski, again, 1980, 12-4, lost to the Cowboys in the divisional playoff, a game that we led in the fourth quarter and blew it. Where does that sound familiar? Again, it's not been just the 2000s when it's been happening. My friends, it's been happening for 45 years. All right, y'all. I want to see you guys continue to rise up and sound off in the comments. We had a couple of comments from last week. Jeff Holton has checked back in. Jeff Holton, how you doing, sir? Jeff Holton, 1225. If the goal here is to win games, why not play the more experienced guy right now? Great point, and I totally agree. Penix might need a mental break. He seems to be regressing rather than progressing at this point. Yeah, I mean, he is going through a cold streak right now. What is it for? I mean, and Penix himself has been hard on himself about why this has been happening. Doesn't really have answers, but I think it starts with just getting back to basics, simplifying things and doing what works. Again, in the NFL, it doesn't have to be all about disguises and illusion and things like that. Just do what works. Just whatever works, do it until the other team can stop it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Again, we got 10 yards to go. Penix, get 4 to 5 yards, right? If it's second down. If it's third down, of course, you got to get the whole thing. But just have more situational awareness, and I think we're going to be okay. That's where it all starts. All right, everybody. Have a great hump day. We'll be back tomorrow with more Falcons Daily. Sayonara and buenos noches.